I love my Kreg Foreman pocket hole machine, but I'm getting a little tired of dragging it around, so today is the day we add casters to make it mobile in the shop. So if you get a Kreg universal tool stand that comes with a router table, or just use one of your own to make a bench, or like I've done, a little stand for my Kreg Foreman, it will come with adjustable leveling feet. They have rubber pads on the bottom and they're very stable, but they're not very mobile. So that's the trade-off. You have to choose whether you want to just leave it in one position or whether it needs to be mobile in your shop. Some tools are stationary in my shop and I never ever move them, like my drill press, so I built a nice bank of drawers and mounted it directly to the base of the tool. But to build cabinets like that, I need to pull this machine away from the wall, so it really made sense to have this one on wheels. About 2 weeks ago, I had a bad experience with casters that looked like this. It was actually a brand name tool that I picked up, and the casters broke almost immediately. It was a different brand, it wasn't associated with Kreg, but it did make me approach this with a skeptical eye. These ones do look to be better built. These are the 3-inch casters, and the rubber wheel on that is 1.25 inches wide. There's even a little dust ring around the ball bearings, but of critical importance to me, these are the dual locking type of wheels. So not only is the rotation of the wheel, but also the pivoting of the axle is locked. So once you step your foot down and lock those in place, you really have a stable workstation. In my work, I never ever use a crescent wrench unless it's larger than 18 millimeters, because that's as big as my set goes. And I'll definitely be hanging on to these leveler feet. They're quite sturdy and great for the right application. I truly believe every shop has a box like this. Mine is simply labeled knobs, but it's just a place where things go that you're sure you're going to use again someday. We'll put our leveling feet in there because you just never know. Now, a 3-inch caster would typically have an overall height of 4 inches, and one thing I noticed installing these on the multi-purpose stand is they're about 2.5 inches taller than the lowest position you could get with those leveling feet, so something to be aware of when you're adding this accessory. 3 wheels on my wagon. Now, this particular wheel set, even though it's on a threaded post, it doesn't thread into the frame of the stand. It just goes in a hole that's sized large enough and attaches with that single nut. And with the wheels installed, it feels like a pretty stable base, so probably no different than with the leveling feet on there. More or less depends on how level your floors are. But the key difference for me is you can have that easy mobility, and the combination of the 3-inch casters with that rubber surface really make this easy to move around the shop. So definitely no complaints with the mobility. This is going to make my life quite a bit easier. And what about the electrical cord test? Doesn't quite pass that one, but easy lift will get us up and over. Usually you have to be a 4-inch caster or something to get over obstacles. But 4-inch casters would raise you up another inch higher, which may or may not work for your situation. I did want to give you the new height of the table with the casters installed, because this can be used for the router table, a Kreg Foreman stand like I have here, or just any general workbench. So I have my leg height adjusted to just about as low as it can go there. And that gives me a table height of 35.5 inches to the top of the 3/4 inch ply that I have installed here. So I think that 3-inch wheel size might be a good compromise, and the locking action is really secure. I'm glad you don't have to bend over to manage that, just activate it with your foot. So sure, you might have to kick extension cords out of your way to get this size of wheel to roll around the shop, but I think that's a great compromise, and these will work perfect for this stand. Yeehaw! So if you've got a router table or a Foreman on an all-purpose stand like this, I would definitely recommend picking up a set of the 3-inch casters. With that total lock feature, you really can't go wrong with them. I'll drop some links in the description box for you on this caster set, as well as Kreg's general purpose shop stand and that Foreman pocket hole machine. I actually counted in the shop, and I had 101 casters before I installed this version from Kreg, so I guess that takes me up to 105. Everything seems to have casters on it in my shop. The jointer is mobile. Oh yeah, she's mobile. My stools are rolling, my shop carts are mobile. Everything's got to be mobile. Planer stand, industrial sewing machine, bandsaw. Oh yeah, it's all mobile. And now, thank goodness, my Kreg stand.